Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. I have just recently got done with reading the book Slimed by Matthew Klickstein, so I'm going to do a review of it for you today on the DVD Reviews. Welcome back guys. So if you grew up throughout the 70s, the 80s and the 90s and you watched Nickelodeon, you may be familiar with the following shows: Salute Your Shorts, Rugrats, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Clarissa Explains It All, Hey Arnold, Kenan and Kel, You Can't Do That on Television, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Also include a whole lot more as well, but these are just the ones I've listed just to mention in this review here. In Rugrats, there was a divorced husband and wife who apparently still worked on the show, so they must have been really good shows to continue working on the show. But I really liked reading the interviews in this book with different directors, show creators, and you know, people from different cast members and different people from behind the scenes and stuff. My main part of the book that I thoroughly enjoyed was reading behind the scenes stuff on my #1 favourite show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like you know, hearing about Ross Hall and his character Gary and his trademark glasses. And just, you know, reading bits from Aaron Taggart, who played Dr. Vink, and Richard M. Dumont, who played Sourdough, you know, and their catchphrases and how, you know, where it all came from. And who else was there? I read, Jacob Tierney, who played Eric, I believe, in the first season of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, these other shows, such as Salute Your Shorts, I never saw that one, so I can't really say much on that. Rugrats I thoroughly loved growing up throughout the 90s. The Adventures of Pete and Pete, I've heard of it, but I've never seen that show. Clarissa Explains It All, thoroughly loved that show, and I'm a big fan of Melissa Joan Hart, who is also answering some stuff in the interviews in this book. Also enjoyed her in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And Hey Arnold, absolutely enjoyed watching Hey Arnold when coming home from school. Kenan and Kel was one of the shows I actually was watching only to wait for Are You Afraid of the Dark to come on. Excuse me, because Are You Afraid of the Dark was my #1 favourite Nickelodeon show as a kid, which is actually the reason why I've collected the DVDs over the years. But Are You Afraid of the Dark? Absolutely loved that show growing up throughout the 90s. I never really heard of You Can't Do That on Television either. I believe it started out in the early 70s or late 80s, but I never saw that one. I know quite a bit about the show, and I've watched some videos on YouTube about it, and you know, but I've never actually really saw the show, so I might have to give that a chance maybe on YouTube if there's any interviews on there. But my favourite parts of the book, I'll tell you the contents, like the chapters. You've got a foreword here by Mark Summers, and you've got the chapters The Tween, what was it like to grow up on Nickelodeon, The Mess and the Eviance. It says what is green slime really made of, as green slime is actually used quite a bit in Nickelodeon shows. It was used in You Can't Do That on Television. It's apparently used quite a bit as well in the Kids' Choice Awards as well. So that was about the green slime. The design, fashion and technology. How did they get Nickelodeon to look so Nickelodeon? The music and sound. What the hell is he singing about in the Pete and Pete theme song? Now, when it comes to the music and sound chapter, I really enjoyed finding out about, who did the Are You Afraid of the Dark theme tune? Because it gets me in the mood. When I watched the intro at the beginning of the show of Are You Afraid of the Dark, or AIOTD, I enjoyed listening to the theme tune. It was good to find out from the people who did the actual theme tune. And the diversity. Why were so many of the people on Nickelodeon white? That was an interesting one to read about. The challenges. Why did they kick the creator of Ren and Stimpy off his own show? And that is another show I actually never really heard of or even seen, Ren and Stimpy, but I read in this book that it was a really good show. The end of an era. How has Nickelodeon changed over the years? I only ever watched Nickelodeon back in the 90s, and so I don't really know how it's getting on now, to be honest with you, because I don't even have cable anymore. But I enjoyed it when I was a kid, but I don't really know what it's like now. I know that SpongeBob SquarePants is still on, if that's still going even. I'm not too sure there. You have even a special message from RT, the strongest man in the world, acknowledgements, cast of characters and index. Now, my favourite part about this book was the cast of characters. I think that was the name of it. Let me just quickly look. Yeah, the cast of characters. Because when I was actually reading through the actual book, I didn't really know who the people was, answering the questions or the interviewees. So I couldn't wait to get to the cast of characters, which now is my favourite part of the book. And you get to find out who's who worked on what, and just everything. I enjoyed everything behind the scenes of the book. And it was really cool to find out the history of the shows and what it went into making the shows and stuff like that. My other favourite part of the book as well was they got some pretty cool pictures in here. There's a picture there taken from You Can't Do That on Television, which I never seen before, but I've read up quite a bit on it, and I would really like to check out that show. And as I said, I'm a big fan of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and this picture here had me pretty excited actually when I first read the book, because it's actually a picture taken behind the scenes of one of my favourite episodes from season 2, which is The Tale of the Midnight Madness. And here's the picture just here. It was one when the Nosferatu in the episode came out of the movie theatre screen. But I thoroughly enjoyed that episode, and I was pretty excited when I saw that picture. But this is absolutely a great book, guys, and I totally recommend it to anybody who's a Nickelodeon fan, more so a fan of Nickelodeon growing up through the 90s. But yeah, I would like to see a sequel to this book. Maybe what's happening with Nickelodeon nowadays. I mean, how does it compare to what it used to be? But this was my review, guys, of the book until my next video. But until then, goodbye and take care.